seriously, that became rich on oil, yet still aims to ban cars that run on fossil fuels in just 6 years' time. That country exists. Norwegians aren't crazy, they have a plan. Germans have been building cars for over 100 years. Do we have a plan too? The demise of the combustion engine is near. The world is shifting to an electrified future.
It's not an option anymore to say it won't happen. We've crossed the line. It's happening.
The question isn't what type of engine is better or more environmentally friendly. The car industry is in the throes of unprecedented change, and Germany risks being left behind. The world's biggest car market, China, is powering an electric vehicle revolution and building the cars it needs itself.
Trying to preserve jobs, come hell or high water, in sectors where I can see that world markets have already moved those sectors in a new direction. It's the worst mistake you can make.
The world has made up its mind. Has Germany, the birthplace of the automobile, a proud car culture?
We know how to build a diesel engine. Ours are probably the best in the world. We can also build combustion engines. The question is, does the world still need them?
Is Germany prepared for the future? We're in Bergen. This was once Norway's most polluted intersection, Danmarksplass, the junction of two major transport routes. Now the city's biggest electric vehicle charging station is located here.
Do you feel like a pioneer, or do you feel quite normal?
Quite normal, yes. It's much cheaper. I don't have to pay the toll road, don't have to go to a gas station, and it's convenient in that way.
Everyone says, well, it doesn't work because it's so complicated and all that.
No, it's not.
It's not?
No, it's not.
Will you ever go back to combustion engine car?
Definitely not.
No other country in the world has more electric cars per capita than Norway. 65% of all new cars sold here are electric or hybrid models. The figure's just 7% in Germany. It's not a coincidence. It's political will. Norway wants to be a pioneer. It sees climate protection as an opportunity for its economy, not a threat. It's already world leader in emission-free technology for ships. Drivers of electric cars enjoy tax exemptions, free or cheaper public parking, and the use of bus lanes. Charging stations and parking garages are standard. I meet up with Christina Boo. Her association represents the interests of Norwegian electric car owners. Her voice counts, not just in Norway. German politicians and industry executives have also sought her advice.
This clear direction is for the consumers also a clear sign that this is where we're going, and this is the future. I'm really sick of hearing car manufacturers blaming consumers, saying consumers are not ready. If someone asked me if I wanted a smartphone before it was launched, I wouldn't have understood even. But if someone now wanted to take the smartphone away from me, I would have, It's the same with electric mobility. The Norwegian case show that if price is level, consumers are more than ready to go electric. So don't blame us, don't blame the consumers, do the job.
In Oslo, 77% of all new cars sold are electric. Within a year, carbon dioxide emissions have dipped by 9%. Norway didn't invent the battery-powered car. In fact, alternatives to combustion engines have been around for a long time. In 1975, Mercedes rolled out its first emission-free van. 1976 marked the birth of Volkswagen's electric Golf. BMW launched its E1 in the early 1990s.
We showcased our first electric cars at the 1972 Olympic Games in Munich. They accompanied the marathon run. We now have 20 years of experience under our belt, and I think we've mastered the technology. Give us 5, maybe 10 years, then we'll be ready.
27 years later, and we're still not ready. Germany is nowhere near to reaching its 2020 climate goals, which foresee 1 million electric vehicles on its roads next year. Instead, we're still debating. Are thresholds set in stone? Is the diesel engine better than its tattered reputation? Aren't electric cars polluters in other ways? The Geneva Motor Show, stomping ground of the tradition-conscious car industry. Here, nothing seems out of order. After all, Daimler is unveiling a van. It's electric. Unfortunately, it's not for sale yet. And then it presents the GLE 53, 435 horsepower, 212 grams of CO2 per kilometer.
This all-rounder makes me feel like I can do anything, anywhere, anytime. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nadine. Great job. Thank you, guys.
To date, most German electric vehicles have been hybrids. Big, heavy, and above all, expensive. Prices start at 70,000 euros. The premium segment has a, quote, higher price elasticity, which is another way of saying it reaps bigger profits for managers and shareholders. Small, affordable, mass market ready? German manufacturers have been slow on the uptake. Car nation Germany is evidently in no hurry to join the revolution. It's counting on tried and tested technology, on slow change. Stefan Bratzel is a seasoned expert on the auto industry. He's growing increasingly concerned.
I think German car makers have a 50-50 chance of surviving this war of the worlds. It could be that Germany is simply a victim of its own success. That on the whole, with its auto manufacturers, industry, and political backing, it was too comfortable to recognize the changes and draw the correct conclusions.
Germany has yet to produce a master plan for coping with the changing automobile industry. Maybe because change is the opposite of what the government and car makers have bonded over. Some 800,000 jobs are directly dependent on the auto industry. Many more are indirectly dependent. Annual turnover, over 400 billion euros. One reason why German politicians have long worked to avert any threat to the car industry, protecting the sector from sudden, disruptive change. In 2018, the German Chancellor addressed an annual gathering of German industry.
We cannot alter the climate goals that we've set for ourselves and to an extent adopted as part of European climate targets as a whole, particularly for 2030. But anything beyond those efforts threatens to drive the auto industry out of Europe. Car makers would produce the cars they sell here somewhere else. I stress that I do not want that to happen.
Is change necessarily a threat? When it comes to the auto industry, the German government seems to think so.
We'll use all means to fight restrictions, as in driving bans. Our goal is to avoid driving bans and shape the future of mobility in a way that includes clean combustion engines.
Clean combustion engines, a flexible concept in Germany. Driving bans, a red flag, threatening to curtail open roads for free citizens. The diesel emissions scandal sowed anger in Germany. The auto industry stalled, then cheated, then covered it up. And then cities imposed driving restrictions. Waiting for compensation, Germany's yellow